Good morning. How did you get on yesterday? 0-0 Heidenheim Dortmund. Strange to see that result. Could have been a 3-pointer for Dortmund. Anything in the in-play stats? No shots on target versus 5. That's throughout the whole match. 0 versus 1 in the first half. 0 versus 4. Not compelling stats. Lecce and Fiorentina. Well, it was all going rosy for Fiorentina until the last 2 minutes of the match. They actually got a 1-2 lead, which you'd have expected, really. With Lecce scoring first, possibility to trade on that. We'd have profited, certainly with the 50th minute guaranteed 67th. That's the beauty of trading. Doesn't matter what happens after all of this, such as 2 late goals, because you've already locked in your profit. Few both teams to score. I think 5 of them yesterday in the Eredivisie, but it's getting a bit goal shy, isn't it? Only the 3 over 2.5 goal matches. That was really about it. Atletico Bilbao far too dominant, as expected. On to today, and it's busy, busy, busy. Everton and Tottenham, 2.15 the favourite. Well, I'd be favouring Tottenham more than Everton. They've got key players coming back. They're in good nick. They're full of goals. Everton are on a pretty poor run at the moment. Let's get the research up. Tottenham scoring 2+ goals in 8 of the last 9 matches. Everton have 4 losses and a 0-0 against the top 5. They tend to fall foul against the big guns. Brighton and Crystal Palace. Only 6 defeats for Brighton, but a 4-0 loss away to Luton last match reinforces their recent poor form. They failed to score in the last 3 matches, and they're 1.57 favourite. Palace, though, have not beaten a top 8 side. That's probably the reason why. Burnley and Fulham. Only 3 wins all season for Burnley. Fulham have failed to score in 5 of the last 6 matches. No wonder this is 2.25 to favourite. Burnley lack that seasonal form, but scored 2 goals recently prior to the Man City loss midweek. If they can refine that, then they'll be on a good footing. But Fulham have no win in 10 matches as well. So it's a poor combination there. Newcastle and Luton. I wouldn't be as dismissive of Luton as the market has been, particularly with Newcastle wobbling of late. Unexpectedly beat Aston Villa 1-3. Run of 2 consecutive home defeats as well. No draw in 12. They have scored first in 10 out of 11 home matches, so that tends to negate any trade. No 0-0 at half-time in 7 matches for Luton. Scored a hat-trick at Adebayo against Brighton. If he's on form, they could really get a booster from that. I think for me, 1.3 is far too short for what Newcastle haven't achieved this season. The win v Aston Villa might tell you more about Aston Villa than it does about Newcastle. I would expect a positive Luton performance, but they keep losing away against the top 15. That's the problem. Sheffield United and Aston Villa 1.55. Only 2 wins all season for the Blades. You know what you're going to get with them. 0-0 at half-time. Try to get a 0-0 75th minute. Try to nick a 1-0. It's very one-dimensional football. Diaz is a key player for Sheffield United, who are scoring 2 goals in 3 of the last 4 matches. So that is a step up. Aston Villa could revert to their 2+ goal standard away from home. Valencia, Almeria. Almeria yet to get a win this season. Valencia are in one of the best bits of form they've been in all season. 4 wins and a loss recently. The loss came against Barcelona. 10 consecutive away defeats for Almeria. I think they might have to wait for that win. Granada and Las Palmas, 2.2 the favourite. Lay any second half 0-0. Granada are failing to score recently. If Las Palmas can find an away goal, that could do the trick. Alaves and Barca. Alaves are in the best form of their season, a bit like Valencia. A draw and 3 consecutive wins for Alaves. Note that Las Palmas and Real Madrid have only beat Alaves 1-0. So I think this was going to be far more competitive than 1.61 suggests. Remember, Barcelona only won 1-0 recently against Osasuna, and that also required a red card for Osasuna. I think this is going to be another tight match. Probable second half breakthroughs. Xavi will certainly want to keep that defence working as he did against Osasuna after 5 conceded against Villarreal. They meet an Alaves in form though, so this is going to be an interesting match. But Alaves have failed to score that second goal at home against the top 12. Girona and Real Sociedad. Only one loss for Girona all season. Brilliant side. 2.05 looks a bit good. But that's probably why, probably because Sociedad have only 3 defeats. So they're in good form season long, but they're not scoring that second goal away. In the Bundesliga, well, it's a watching brief for Bayern Munich, I'm afraid. They've been a bit of a strange side. A couple of 1-0 results, a loss and a win. So watching brief, certainly. And then a 3-2 against Augsburg. Very poor stuff relative to what we expect of Bayern. Look at this for Mönchengladbach. They're no win in 6 away. They've not beaten the top 13 away, but some of the scorelines, 4-2, 2-1, 3-3 and 4-4. So this could be more competitive than 1.10 suggests. But we might be seeing, as we saw against Augsburg, a return to normality for Bayern Munich. Bochum against Augsburg. Both teams performed well against bottom third sides. Augsburg tend to score and concede without losing, so is that the form to work with? Bochum have momentum. They're unbeaten in 6 at home though. So that's going to be an interesting match as well. Darmstadt against Bayer Leverkusen. Are we going to see a return to the 3-goal Bayer Leverkusen that we saw against Leipzig, or the 1-0 and 0-0 recently by Leverkusen? Complete contrasts. We normally expect 3 goals when they're 1.25 favourite. Freiburg and Stuttgart. 2.2 the favourite. Freiburg lose to all top 5, and Stuttgart 5 losses in 6 away. Poor form coming into this for both sides. Werder Bremen are in a bit of form, backing up their win against Bayern Munich with a win against Freiburg. So they could be on the bounce here. Only 1 win for Mainz all season, so this is a good opportunity for Werder Bremen to get a 3rd consecutive win, which is a real rarity. They scored the vast majority of their goals second half. Köln against Frankfurt. The market is a little hesitant. Köln are likely to pack that defence. They're in really poor form, only 2 wins all season. They're improving subtly, as shown with 2 recent defeats only coming against Bayern Munich and Dortmund. Frankfurt would slightly favoured here, 3 wins and a draw in the last 4, but I wouldn't discount a draw. I didn't get round to French League 1. I can do that in play. Empoli and Genoa, 2.5 the favourite. Udinese Monza. Well, we've got another side, 11th and lower for Udinese. And whenever Udinese play 10th, I think it's 10th and lower, they've drawn every single match. So that's something to work with today. Frosinone, AC Milan. Got to be favouring AC Milan on their current form. Only 4 losses for AC Milan. 2+ goals scored in 8 of the last 9. They've scored in the last 11 and the last 11 away. They're a pretty decent nick. Fiorentina, only 1 win since the 2nd of December. Sorry, Frosinone. Fiorentina played yesterday. Bologna, Sassuolo. Sassuolo have beaten 1st and 19th away, and that's it. So they've conceded in the last 11 away. Bologna score more in the second half. We might see a tight first half with Bologna's under 2.5 goal pattern. 5 consecutive under 2.5 goals. I normally tend to back 0-0 when I see that kind of stat. The Eredivisie, Twente. 1-0 seems to be best case for RKC Valvik, so I'll enter the match working on that. With Twente having scored 2+ goals in the last 2 at home, they'll favour today. Ajax and PSV, too much of a derby-style match this one. Both sides in excellent form. PSV all wins bar a draw recently. Ajax, the second half of the season belongs to them. Unbeaten in going on 10, 11, 12 matches now. A good old tussle. I'm not investigating this pre-match. We can get any old result. Will PSV maintain an unbeaten season? That's the question. NEC Nijmegen against Heracles. Well, the market's favouring NEC. They could target 3 or 4 goals here today at the very best. Look at the scorelines recently. 4-3-3, 1-3-3, 1 goal scored at home against 10th and lower for NEC. That's really solid stuff. Of course, there's football throughout Europe today. We've got the English Championship, I believe. Unless the FA Cup returns. I don't think it does. Yeah, English Championship, English League 1, English League 2. Not going to research these, of course. But we pay attention to the odds on favourites and work from there. Just do this bit of work and this all goes into the My Games facility, so you'll be alerted in play. We've got a live stream today. I hope you can come along. It's great to see more people turning up to these live streams. At the 3rd of February 2024 chat feed and live stream, I'll pop on midday or 12:30 just for an introductory live stream. Then we'll do the extended live stream. They tend to last 2 hours, but then I'll do another live stream afterwards. I think you just get a 2-hour limit on this. Now, there's going to be some changes to the Football Trading Profits website next week. I've got one of my colleagues working on that next week, so we're going to revert to old school for a couple of days next week. So we're just going to be here at Football Trading Profits for the research and over on Telegram for everything else. Just want to make sure that paid subscribers and free to view subscribers are separated. That's the key element there. So I'll be on Telegram and Football Trading Profits. So do watch the review preview video and I'll give you an update on that. I'll see you from about midday or probably 12:30, I would say, for the first live stream at the chat feed. Have a great day.